What up? So, coming right back to my ode to Death Row Records. So, of course, I already went into All Eyes on Me on another video, and I'm not going to go into too much, but this is my 2 copies of All Eyes on Me, which might be my favorite album of all time. I can't stop listening to it. I put it on every now and then. I just recently hooked up my my current setup, which I got these speakers over here and everything, and what I did was I always like to play the song Scandalous because that one has like such a crisp sound, so well mastered, so well engineered. It's just a masterpiece, and that's a song that I usually try everything out on. Like if that song sounds good on it, I can make anything sound good on it. So All Eyes on Me, 1996. And next is Machiavelli. A very what's the word? Very creepy album at some points, like Hail Mary creeps me out. The song Blasphemy kind of creeps me out a little bit, but I love the songs. They're awesome. Machiavelli came out. It was the first release after Tupac's death, and it has like all these little weird little tidbits on it. Like the main one is this Exit Tupac, Enter Machiavelli. This wartime, I don't know, it's like a war cry or whatever it is, but from what I understand, from what I've heard, from what I've seen actually, the notes for this album was supposed to have a lot of shit talking on Biggie and I think Wendy Williams and a couple other people. On Dre. This is I think this is the first release that Death Row had that Dre was already off the label, and Tupac and Dre had they had their issues. I don't want to go too much into that, but yeah, this album has a lot of great tracks on it. It's only 13 songs, but they're all fire. Now, here's one thing that I will know about this particular album. It has a song Against All Odds, which, in my opinion, is Tupac's best diss track. Better than Hit 'Em Up. Why? Because Hit 'Em Up was mostly the Outlaws. And, Tupac talked a lot of shit, and it was very impactful. But I feel like this was the one that, Against All Odds was the one that really where Tupac really laid everything on the table, and he said, hey, this is why we got issues, and he named names. He talked about King Tut and fucking Puffy and Nas, like he went, and others too, not just Biggie. I don't think he even mentioned Biggie in that song, but yeah, Tupac was angry. He was on some shit on that album. Now, here's the next release. Dogfather. So Dogfather was by far Snoop Dogg's not best album. I don't think it's his worst. I think the worst shit Snoop did was on probably No Limit and like a lot of his more recent stuff. His most recent album, actually it's not his most recent. That 187, what's it called? Never Left. That one. I think that one was very good. But yeah. Anyway, Snoop, Dogfather. Like I said, not Snoop's best, but it does have a few good songs. Snoop Bounce, I like. Dogfather, Doggy Land, Blueberry. Actually, it does have a bunch of good songs on it. It's pretty long, but yeah, this one right here, Snoop Dogg came out after his trial, where he got acquitted. And he just didn't want any beef anymore. Death Row was all about the beef, and Snoop wasn't. So I'm not sure if this one is chronologically in order, but Death Row Christmas, I got this one from Urban Outfitters just because they had it for super cheap. They had it on sale. I think I got it for like $12. But yeah, this one is just for the collection. It's trash. Has only one good song on it. Now here's something that everybody should have. If you don't have all these albums, you should at least have this. You should have the greatest hits. This is an OG pressing. I lucked out. I found it on Discogs for $40. OG pressing, brand new in the original heat shrink. and it's awesome. I mean, shit, you go down the list on this, and it's just hit after hit after hit. Like everything's a hit. Even the unreleased shit that they put out on disc 4 on side B, those 4 songs right there, it actually has a version of "Smile for Me" that, like, you know, that Scarface song, the "Smile for Me." Yeah, that one. Death Row Greatest Hits. I mean, that's the best greatest hits of all time, in my opinion. Can't get better than I mean, if Death Row is my favorite label, they made my favorite music, their greatest hits is gonna be my favorite shit. And yeah, best believe it is. So now we're gonna go into a couple of the soundtracks that Death Row did, because they did come out after Tupac died. So Gridlocked. Gridlocked was a movie he did with Tim Roth, who's right there. And I don't remember seeing the movie. I know I've seen it because I watched everything Tupac did. But yeah, this one right here has what's it called? Never Had a Friend Like Me, which is one of my favorite Tupac songs. And that Don't Try to Play Me, Homie. Like those 2 songs right there, when I played them on the CD, they're back to back, and I love just having those 2 songs back to back. It's a decent soundtrack. Has a OFTB, which is like a very obscure death row group that I'll show you a little bit more about them later on. That Life is a Traffic Jam, which is like a spoken word Tupac with like a bass, and he's just sort of riffing, and it's like some girl on it too. Anyway, moving along. Gang Related. So another movie that Tupac did right before he died with the fuck's his name? Jim Belushi or Tim Belushi? I don't know what the fuck his name is. So this one right here has Made Niggas, has Gang Related, has Get Your Bang On. Like, I don't know, like almost everything in here is fucking dope. Classic death row shit. A lot of Tupac. I wish I had more Dog Pound, but you know, I think Snoop was already off the label when this came out, so it doesn't have any songs featuring Snoop, except for Hollywood Bank Robbery. But I mean, I'm sure that was recorded before he left for No Limit. But yeah, there was very little Snoop on this. Just, I think that's the only time he comes on, and on Life So Hard, I think he speaks at the end, and that's about it. That's the only Snoop you get on this. But yeah, great soundtrack. Oh, another one. One of my favorite artists of all time. Where is the song? Where is the song? Oh, there it is. Questions by Tech-N9ne. So at one point, people thought that Tech-N9ne was on death row because he was on this soundtrack. And that song right there, that song pretty much set the tone for me when it came to Tech-N9ne. I love Tech-N9ne. And we'll go into that on another video. So the next album that I'm going to go into here, Necessary Roughness from the Lady of Rage. So this right here this album is super, super underrated. And Lady of Rage is a legit lyricist. I'm surprised she's not on more people's top 10 females, or I don't know, even top 10 artists. So Lady of Rage just came hard on this. This got a lot of production from Daz and I forget who else, but it's got more of an East Coast kind of feel on a lot of songs. Because Lady of Rage, she's actually from Virginia. Most people don't know that. And it's kind of a shame. I heard she had cancer, like breast cancer, and I don't know how she's doing. I hope she's doing fine. I love Lady of Rage. She's probably my favorite female artist. So I'm going to stop this video here, and I'm going to continue on another one. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I still got some to go. So I'll be back in a bit.